Welcome to episode number 7. I'm your host, Shireen, and today I'm joined by Aisha. Welcome to Urdu Seekhiye, Aisha.
Assalamu alaikum, Shireen, and everyone. I am excited to be on my very first podcast.
I'm excited for you to be here. Okay, so with that, let's get started. Do you want to share with our listeners the topic for today?
Sure. In this episode, you'll learn how to ask someone how his or her day is going, and a few other useful things. So let's hear the dialogue.
आपका दिन कैसा जा रहा है?
बड़ा अच्छा जा रहा है. तुम सुनाओ.
ठीक ठाक. अल्लाह का शुक्र है. ओह, 1 बज गया. क्या आपने खाना खा लिया है?
नहीं, मुझे भूख नहीं लगी है. तुम आराम से खाओ. Let's hear that dialogue one more time.
आपका दिन कैसा जा रहा है?
बड़ा अच्छा जा रहा है. तुम सुनाओ.
ठीक ठाक. अल्लाह का शुक्र है. ओह, 1 बज गया. क्या आपने खाना खा लिया है?
नहीं, मुझे भूख नहीं लगी. तुम आराम से खाओ.
Now Aisha will read all the lines in Urdu and I'll provide the translations.
आपका दिन कैसा जा रहा है?
How is your day going?
बड़ा अच्छा जा रहा है. तुम सुनाओ.
It's going very well. How about you?
ठीक ठाक. अल्लाह का शुक्र है. ओह, 1 बज गया. क्या आपने खाना खा लिया है?
Absolutely fine. Thanks to Allah. Oh, it's already 1 o'clock. Have you eaten?
नहीं, मुझे भूख नहीं लगी. तुम आराम से खाओ.
No, I'm not hungry. You eat with comfort. All right. Our first line of the dialogue was, आपका दिन कैसा जा रहा है? So, आपका means yours, दिन means day, कैसा means how, and because din is masculine and singular, we say कैसा.
Next we have जा रहा. The infinitive verb jana means to go. To change to go into going, you add the raha. So ja raha means going. Because din is masculine, we say ja raha. For a feminine noun, what would you say, Shireen?
We would say ja rahi. So let me give you another example of a question where the subject is feminine. If I want to ask someone, how is your studying going? That's the same format as how is your day going? So to ask, how is your studying going? We would ask, आपकी पढ़ाई कैसी जा रही है? So now we have the feminine कैसी and the feminine rahi.
Exactly. Returning back to आपका दिन कैसा जा रहा है, the last word in this question is है, and that is our to be verb, and it means is. So again, the question आपका दिन कैसा जा रहा है means how is your day going? To that question I respond बड़ा अच्छा जा रहा है. बड़ा means big, but when it is said in front of an adjective like it is here, then it means really or very. So बड़ा अच्छा means very good or well. बड़ा अच्छा जा रहा है means it's going very well.
Then Aisha says, तुम सुनाओ. So you'll hear this phrase often, or at least I do. Whenever you ask someone how they're doing or what's new in life, they'll give you their response, and then to ask you the same thing, they'll say, tum sunao. It's a way of saying, how about you? But tum is the informal way of saying you. And sunao most closely translates to tell or recite. So it's literally, you tell. So Aisha says, बड़ा अच्छा जा रहा है. तुम सुनाओ. It's going very well. How about you?
Shireen, I think it's important to also share how to say tum sunao in a formal way. Remember, if you are talking to someone older than you or someone you don't know very well, it's always best to use the formal tone. So, how would you change the informal tum sunao to make it formal?
Good point. So, tum sunao would become aap sunaye. You can't really tell, but sunaye ends with the nasal N sound. If you watch the YouTube video on Urdu letters, then you might know the letter. It's nun gunna. So often when using the formal tone, you'll notice several words end with this letter.
And you can see that we mixed up the tones. We usually either use only the formal tone or the informal. So either only aap or only tum. But we wanted to show you an example of what it might look like if one person were older and one younger.
Right. In real life, because Aisha and I are still getting to know each other, we both refer to each other using aap. But maybe with time that'll change. In real life, Wajiha and I use tum to speak to each other. And the same is the case with Anjum and me.
So then Shireen responds, Theek Thaak, Allah ka shukr hai. Theek Thaak is another common phrase. We know theek means fine, so Theek Thaak basically means the same thing, but that thaak is added on for emphasis. So Theek Thaak is more like saying absolutely fine. And if you had to guess what Allah ka shukr hai means, what would you guess? Allah is the Arabic word for God. So Allah ka shukr hai means it is thanks to God. So Theek Thaak, Allah ka shukr hai means absolutely fine, thanks to God.
Yes, that's an interesting thing about Muslims. They can slip God into any conversation. Urdu, and I suppose any other language spoken by Muslims, contain many everyday phrases that include God. I think it's absolutely beautiful, even though I don't consider myself religious. It's like the greeting Assalamu alaikum, may peace be upon you, or the words we part with, Khuda Hafiz, may God protect you. I love it. It generates good feelings all around. Because I'm not so religious, I'm hyper aware when these words come out of my mouth. It's funny, my brother never picked them up growing up, but I sure did. I wouldn't say I feel like a hypocrite saying them, because I mean them just as much, no matter who I'm speaking to. But still, they stand out to me. And I always pause and stare at the other person, thinking, I wonder if she thinks I have no right to use this phrase. It's silly, I know, but it is what it is.
Yeah, my kids too. They have an interesting take on such phrases. Okay, let's return to the dialogue. Then you say, oh, ek baj gaya. You're shocked that the time has flown by and it's already 1 o'clock. So ek means 1. The word baj comes from the verb bajna, which means to strike. It refers more to the sound rather than an action. I'm sure you've heard it said the clock has struck 1. So that's the idea. Literally, ek baj gaya means it has struck 1, meaning it has already become 1.
So gaya is used to indicate that it has come and it's going. The time, 1 o'clock, has come and it's going.
I also want to point out one more thing about this sentence. Ek baj gaya isn't wrong, but it's incomplete. The complete way to say it has already become 1 is to say ek baj gaya hai. Hai is our to be verb. Ek baj gaya hai.
That reminds me that in the YouTube video, I explained that to say it's 1 o'clock, you would say ek baja hai. Ek baja hai. So how would you explain the difference between ek baja hai and ek baj gaya hai? The difference, I think, is incredibly subtle.
The easiest way to explain is to look at the literal translation of both. Ek baja hai means it is 1 o'clock. ek baj gaya hai is different because of that one word gaya. I would translate ek baj gaya hai as it has already become 1 o'clock. The clock has already struck 1.
Ah, gotcha. Okay, so then it does make sense that I would use ek baj gaya hai instead of ek baja hai in our dialogue because I'm surprised that it has already become 1 o'clock.
Exactly. Next you ask, kya aapne khana kha liya hai? Kya is our question indicator. We know aap means you and ne is a postposition. It doesn't really translate to anything specific. We have a video dedicated to postpositions, so be sure to check that out if you want more information on aapne. The verb to eat is khana. Yes, it sounds like the same exact word for food, which is also khana. So khana means to eat food. If I say main khana chahti hoon, what would that mean? It means I want to eat food.
Okay, so now we know what aapne khana kha means. Let's look at liya. Just like gaya, liya is added after the verb to give it the tense. I'm going to say that it's the present perfect tense. If I say maine kha liya hai, it means I have eaten. If I say maine kaam kar liya hai, that means I have worked. So liya indicates a completed action. It's like the present perfect tense in English.
The entire question then, kya aapne khana kha liya hai, means have you eaten? To this I respond, nahi, mujhe bhook nahi lagi. Tum aaram se khao. Our first word is nahi. Nahi means no or not. Mujhe is our pronoun, and it's the oblique case. Again, if you want to learn more about the oblique case, we request that you check out the YouTube video on this topic. Bhook means hunger. Lagna, if you remember from a previous episode, means to feel or to begin. So, nahi lagna means do not feel. I'm saying I do not feel hunger or I'm not hungry. Nahi, bhook nahi lagi.
Notice that the verb was also conjugated. Because bhook is feminine, we say lagi.
Then I say, tum aaram se khao. Tum, of course, is the informal way of saying you. Aaram means comfort. And se is a postposition meaning from. But here, it most closely translates to with. And khao is our verb meaning eat. It's an imperative, meaning it's a command or a request. Anytime in Urdu you turn a verb into a command or a request, it changes a bit. So khana, to eat, becomes khao, eat. Padhna, to read, becomes padho, read.
We'll have a video dedicated to imperatives also.
So tum aaram se khao means you eat with comfort.
Right. The idea is I'm asking her if she has already eaten, and she responds, no, I'm not hungry. But you, please, eat with comfort. Mujhe bhook nahi lagi. Tum aaram se khao. I feel that I hear this phrase, aaram se, often, especially towards the end of a conversation or when someone needs to step away. Aisha, how would I say tum aaram se khao in the formal tone?
That would be aap aaram se khaएं. Notice that ending, khaएं, ends in noon guna. A few other examples of phrases containing aaram se are aap aaram se kaam kare. That means work with comfort, or be relaxed and work. Aap aaram se baithe. That means sit with comfort. Shireen, do you have any other examples?
I'm trying to think of something that you can't really do with comfort. I mean, you can relax and eat. You can relax and sit. I guess you can relax and do work. But can I say आप आराम से वर्जिश करें? Varzish means exercise. So, आप आराम से वर्जिश करें means relax and exercise.
Definitely. So, while the word aram does translate to relax or comfort, the idea isn't that you are physically relaxing. The idea is that you are mentally relaxing. And you can mentally relax while doing anything. So, when you hear the phrase aram se, the person is telling you to be at ease. Don't feel rushed, just relax. This reminds me of those shirts and signs that say stay calm and whatever. That's the same idea behind this phrase.
Ooh, I should get a shirt that says Aram se Urdu seekhiye. Okay, so that does it for this episode. Thank you very much for listening. As always, please be sure to download the free PDF handout for this episode. It will be very helpful in understanding the vocabulary words used in this dialogue. If you're not able to find the handout, please email us at urduseekhiye@gmail.com with the word PDF handouts in the subject line, and I'll send you all the PDF transcripts for free. Thank you again. Until next time,
Khuda Hafiz.